The world is smoke and orange light. Kale feels the heat of the great fire on his back, a devouring beast that has consumed 100 leagues of forest and now licks at the heels of the river clan. Before them, a black wound gapes in the earth, the mouth of a box canyon, a promise of stone and shadow where the fire cannot follow. He shoves a straying child forward, his voice a raw rasp. In, all of you in. They stumble past him, a river of 40 souls, their faces smudged with ash, their eyes wide with the terror that only these ancient lands can breed. Their survival skills are pushed to the absolute limit. They are not warriors, but survivors. Their meager technology of sharpened bone and flake stone, the austere ontocratic legacy of their ancestors clutched in their hands. The last of them, old Elka with her bad leg, scrambles through the narrow entrance, and the hunters form a weary wall behind her, their spears pointed not at the fire, but at the suffocating smoke from which something else might emerge. For a moment that stretches into a lifetime, there is only the roar of the blaze and the panting of lungs starved of clean air. Then, the wind shifts, and the flames turn back on their own devastation. They are safe. The relief is a physical weight lifted. The clan collapses against the sheer, red rock walls of their accidental sanctuary. The canyon is deep, a half-league long and no wider than a strong man can throw a stone. A trickle of clean water seeps from a fissure, pooling in a shallow basin. It is a fortress, a gift from the spirits. Kale watches as the families huddle together, sharing the last strips of dried meat. The children, resilient in their ignorance, chase lizards near the waterpool. His daughter, her eyes scanning the rim of the canyon walls high above. She is young, but she carries the old sight, the instinct that separates the hunted from the hunter. She sees things others miss. For now, she sees only rock and sky. The clan believes it has found a reprieve in this brutal prehistoric world. They are wrong. These ancient humans have just traded one pyre for another. As dusk bleeds purple and indigo across the sky, a new sound joins the crackle of the distant fire. It is not the bellow of a triceratops or the heavy tread of a sauropod. It is a sharp interrogative chirp, followed by a series of guttural clicks that echo unnaturally in the enclosed space. The hunters freeze, hands tightening on their spears. Every member of the clan stills. This is the language of pack hunters. This is the sound of coordinated death. Kale's eyes meet Alara's across the dimming firelight. Her face is a mask of dawning horror. Slowly, he raises a hand, signaling for absolute silence. The chirps answer each other from different points along the canyon rim. They are being watched. The first silhouette appears against the last light of the fading day. It is lean, poised, an arch of lethal muscle and sinew balanced onto powerful legs. Even from this distance, they can see the sickle-shaped claw held up from the earth, a disembowelling hook waiting for its moment. A Utahraptor. Then another appears, and a third. The creatures of the Dromaeosaurid family, the thinking killers, the clever devils of the Badlands. They do not charge. They simply watch, their heads cocked, their unblinking eyes glowing like embers in the twilight. They know the fire blocks the canyon mouth. They know their prey is trapped. The sanctuary has become a cage, the water source a bait, and the high rock walls are now the unscalable ramparts of their own tomb. The siege has begun. The first night is a living thing, a breathing entity of fear. The clan huddles around a meager fire, its light pushing back the darkness but also making them a perfect, illuminated target. The chirps and clicks from the canyon rim are incessant, a language of death they cannot understand, but whose meaning is bone deep clear. Every snap of a twig, every dislodged pebble from above, sends a jolt of adrenaline through the camp. No one sleeps. They just watch the shadows dance. The lean shapes of the theropod pack move with a liquid grace, a chilling contrast to their brutal purpose. This isn't just a hunt, it's a dismantling. They are testing the clan's nerve, letting the terror do half the work. The elders tell stories of what dinosaurs really looked like, slumbering, mindless beasts. Those stories are lies. These creatures are as far from that as a sharpened spear is from a dull rock. The days are no better. Thirst becomes a constant companion, second only to hunger. The small water pool is 200 paces from the main camp, out in the open. To reach it is to offer oneself to the sky. On the third day, a young hunter named Tor, his belly swollen with hunger and his mind frayed with sleepstons, tries to scale a low-lying ledge where he spotted a nest. For the children, he mutters to Kale, who forbids it. But desperation is a rogue current, a shadow against the red rock. He is halfway up when a single, sharp bark echoes from the rim. It is not a sound of alarm, but of command. Utahraptors, silent until that moment, detach from the rock face below him. They were always there, camouflaged, waiting. The dinosaur fight is not a fight at all. It is an execution. Tor screams once, a sound cut brutally short as a sickle claw, its edge a blade of dark, carrot and no US horn does its work. They are on him and gone in a blur of feathered motion, dragging his body into the shadows. The clan is left with only the silence and the stain on the rock. That death breaks something in them. The despair is a physical sickness, a cold stone in the gut of every man and woman. Kale organizes shifts, reinforces the perimeter with thorn bushes, but he knows it is futile. They are just delaying the inevitable. But while the other sharpens her mind, she ceases to be a terrified victim and becomes a student of the enemy. She forces herself to watch the pack, spending hours tracking their movements from the relative safety of a rock overhang. Her father sees her staring, seemingly idle, and his grief makes him harsh. "What are you doing, girl? Pick up a stone. Help with the wall." She turns to him, her eyes burning with an intensity he has never seen. "The wall will not save us," she says, her voice low and steady. "Their claws will not break on our stones, but they are not gods. They are flesh and blood. They have patterns." She begins to unravel their strategy. She sees the pack as led by a larger male, a grizzled veteran with a deep scar across its snout. This alpha directs the others with a complex series of calls. A low whistle signals a patrol shift along the rim. A series of rapid clicks precedes a feint, a false charge designed to draw out a defender. They hunt not with instinct alone, but with tactics. She forces herself to memorize the sounds, to associate them with the actions that follow, charting the currents of their collective lethality. This is a pivotal moment in hominid history, the dawning of an idea that the greatest weapon is not held in the hand, but behind the eyes. As the fifth day of the siege dawns, she approaches Kale again, not with fear, but with a terrifying, nascent plan. "I know their dance," she whispers, pointing a trembling finger toward the alpha watching them from its perch. "And I think I know how to change the music." The clan looks at Elara as if she is mad. Her plan is a ghost story told to frighten children. Use the canyon itself as a weapon. She speaks of the narrow, twisting gorge at the far end, a place where the walls almost touching the ground is littered with the bones of past kills, including the half-eaten carcass of a heavily armored Wildfire. She speaks of the storm clouds gathering over the mountains, a common sight in this season, promising a deluge that could turn that dry gorge into a liquid hammer. And she speaks of sound. "We will not fight them," she explains, her voice barely a whisper but cutting through the camp's despair. "We will make them fight the canyon. We will make them fight each other." Kale sees the terrifying logic in his daughter's eyes. It is the logic of the desperate, the final throw of the dice in a game they have already lost. The hard choice is no choice at all, or to die fighting on their own terms. The work begins. It is a frantic, focused effort, the community acting as one organism. Under Elara's direction, the younger members gather flat, resonant stones. The hunters, led by Kale, prepare the lure. They will be the bait, a desperate, suicidal run toward the gorge to draw the pack's full attention. A grizzled hunter named Bor, who had once scoffed at Elara's observations, now stands beside her, his face a grim mask of acceptance. He and two others will be the chorus. They take their positions in hidden alcoves along the canyon walls, places Elara identified for their strange echoes. The sky darkens, the wind picks up, carrying the scent of rain and ozone. The air grows thick with a tension that is almost a physical force. They are a small tribe of Homo sapiens challenging the masters of this prehistoric world. Kale gives the signal. He and his 5 hunters break from the camp, running not with the stealth of a hunt, but with the open clamor of panicked prey. The effect is immediate. A sharp, commanding bark echoes from the alpha on the rim. The pack, an ochre and brown tide of claws and teeth, pours down the rock faces, converging on the fleeing men. This is the moment. Elora watches, her heart a frantic drum, and raises her hand. Bo and the others begin to strike their flat stones together, mimicking the sharp clicks of a raptor challenge. They play Elara's tune of chaos, a territorial dispute call from one wall, a distress signal of a trapped juvenile from another. The canyon explodes with sound, the echoes twisting the calls, making it seem as if a dozen rival packs have suddenly materialized. The Alpha Raptor skids to a halt, its head whipping around, utterly confused. Its disciplined pack hesitates, their killing certainty shattered by a phantom civil war. It is the only opening they need. Kayla's group scrambles into the mouth of the gorge as the first fat drops of rain begin to fall. Enraged and bewildered, the Alpha makes its fatal error. It chooses the visible enemy over the invisible one, letting out a scream of pure fury and leading the charge into the narrow trap. The rest of the pack follows blindly. At that exact moment, below rumble becomes a roar. The flash flood, a wall of brown water and debris, hits the gorge's entrance. The chorus of screaming stone is drowned out by the screams of dying animals, the snap of bone, and the grinding of the floodwaters scouring the canyon clean. The clan can only watch, drenched and shivering, as the brutal reign of the Red Rock Pack ends in a slurry of mud and death. The silence that follows is heavier than the storm. The survivors stand at the edge of the gorge, watching the last of the floodwaters recede, leaving behind a tomb of shattered rock and splintered bone. They have won. But it feels less like a victory and more like the drawing of a ragged breath after holding it for an eternity. They did not overpower the beast, they outfought it. They unraveled it with knowledge. In this small, forgotten canyon, a profound truth of human evolution has been etched into the stone. The future does not belong to the strongest claw or the sharpest tooth. It belongs to the mind that can hear the music of the enemy's dance and has the courage to compose a new song. This act of strategic defiance, born of observation and executed with communal will, is more than survival. It is a declaration. It is the moment a species, long resigned to being prey, first learns the grammar of predation, not with fang, but with foresight. Their desperate gamble becomes the bedrock of a legacy, a testament to the audacious idea that even the smallest flame of intelligence, carefully shielded against the storm, can one day set the world alight. What brutal symphony must our ancestors have conducted at the dawn of consciousness, so that we, their distant echoes, might one day believe ourselves the masters of this earth. This has been an alternate prehistory survival chronicle. We listened for the echoes in the stone, for the stories that sleep in our bones. But in the steaming jungles to the south, the earth shakes not from footsteps, but from a rivalry far older than mankind.